We are starting science. All right. So do we need, in order to work, what needs to be done? Do we need, is this going to work if I throw it on the floor? What needs to happen? In order for me to do something with this marker, what do I need to do? Olivia. Yeah. It's actually pushing and pulling. But in order for it to work, what does it need? Starts with an F. What am I doing right now? What is creating me to be able to do all this on the whiteboard with this marker? Just magically doing it?
No.
How does it work? What do I need to move this marker? Emmy. Not friction. Friction is what slows something down. Jonathan.
Force?
Yes. So, if we think about working, if something to work. So I am on page 134 in your textbook. Scientists say work is done when a force moves something. So as I was showing you with my marker, I was using force to push and pull it in order for me to write. I can't do that when I just put the marker down. The marker is not magically going to get up and write on its own. It requires me to pick it up and to write with it, correct? What about the simple act of you opening up your book? Is the book working right now?
No.
What do you have to do to make it work? Olivia. Tell me, what do I need to do in order for the book to make, before I can read the book? What do I have to do? Tell me, step by step.
Take it off.
Yes, so I am what? Pulling it. Right? I'm not pushing it. I'm pulling it. Then what? I'm turning pages. So I am forcing things to happen. Things don't happen on their own. Cause and effect. So, even by me reading, my eyes, I have to make my eyes move, correct? If I stare at Emma, what do I need to do with my eyes or my head to stop looking straight ahead? Hello? What do I need to do? Do I need to force? See, I just moved my eyes. Does that just magically happen, or do I have to force my eyes to move and my head to move? Owen. Yes. So if I'm carrying the book, is that force or no? Am I exerting force to carry the book across the room?
Yeah.
Yes. What are some other acts of working that people do in our society or in where we live? What are some other acts of working that you can think of that exert force? Jonathan.
Carrying apples.
Carrying apples. So when we have our yummy apples in the fall, someone has to pick them from the tree, right? What's going to happen to the apples if nobody picks them? Winsheen. Yeah, they get all yucky, or the animals will eat them all. So you have to go and you have to pull apples off the tree. Very good. What's another way we work in our everyday experience? Tyson.
Some people might entertain us.
Sure. Like what? Can you give me an example?
Like if you're watching a baseball game.
Ooh, that's a good idea. That's a good example. A baseball game. What is happening in a baseball game? There's not very much force going on. People are just kind of standing around and picking their noses.
Ew.
Yeah, isn't that what baseball is?
No.
Well, then explain to me. Let's say I'm a Martian. I have no idea what baseball is. What is it? It's not a game where you stand around and pick your nose? Well, what is it? Explain what force is needed to make baseball happen. Explain. Ella, what is one thing you need to do to exert force?
You have to catch the ball.
You have to catch the ball. So the ball is flying in the air. That's definitely a force. But how did that ball move in order for you to catch it? Christian.
The baseball batter has to hit it with the baseball. And then
Has to hit the baseball with the bat. That is definitely an act of force. So what motion, is that a push or a pull in order for the baseball bat to hit? What is that?
That was me.
Oh, okay. I'm like, is that an alarm going off? What is this motion? Is it a push or pull? I'm not standing right. Am I pushing? I know, my baseball technique is not great. Is it a push or a pull? Grant. Yes, I am pushing the ball with the bat very forcefully. What's another way the ball moves? So I'm hitting it with a bat. How else can the ball be forced in motion, Jeremiah?
throwing it.
Throwing it. Is that a push or a pull? Jack.
Push.
Yes, I am pushing the ball forward. All right, so what about another motion that has to occur in baseball? We've talked about catching the ball, batting the ball, throwing the ball. So is that all that's happening is people are standing around hitting the ball, catching the ball, and throwing it? What else is happening that needs force? Tyson.
Running.
Yes.
Base to base.
Running. Does that require force?
Yeah.
Yeah. Am I running?
No.
Yeah. So in order for me to run, I have to do what? I have to exert a lot of force to make my body move. All right. What about cleaning your room? I'm sure you all love to do that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure all your rooms are spotless.
Yeah. Sure.
Nothing on your floor, your beds are made, your clothes are picked up, there's no toys. All right, shh. What act of force does one have to do to clean your room? Owen. Picking stuff up. Moving. What about if something is wedged in a drawer? Do you have to push or pull the drawer open? Gabe.
Pull.
Yes. What about doing your homework? What do you have to do in order to do your homework? What has to move to do your homework? Yes. Helen. Yes. Push and pull to write. You do both, actually. What about an animal? Can they do work? I am thinking of an animal in particular that can do heavy labor. Emmy. A horse, of course. What does a horse do? Does he push, pull, both? Give me examples. Helen.
Like an example for pull, like if he pulls, like wagon behind him.
Yes. What about a horse that pulls, maybe loggers use horses to pull heavy trees that they have cut down? What's another example of animals using force to do work, to help us do work? Jonathan.
I got a question.
Yes.
Isn't throwing about pulling and pushing? Because like you bring the back with you.
You're pulling back to gain momentum, and then your momentum is going forward where you push. So when it goes back, it's getting momentum, because if you just go like this, is the ball going to go as far? So this is getting momentum to go further, and then you push it forward. Yes, momentum is very important if you want an object to go further. So what is another example of an animal that helps us work? Jeff.
I have two things. I have one for the baseball thing, like how it moves the ball. If it like someone tried catching it with the glove, it just bounced off.
Would it just bounce off?
The ball off
The
glove.
ball, well, if it's me catching it, yeah, probably. But the catching is, well, that's, I guess I don't understand your question. Are you just saying that, why does the ball not bounce out?
No, like
I mean, I am not I'm not a baseball expert, so I just know that, but catching the ball is part of baseball, correct? Yeah. That's not, when you're catching it, it's not really pushing or pulling, it's more friction, it's stopping. It's stopping the ball, right? And I think when the ball is coming at you 100 miles per hour and you catch it in your glove, it's going to hurt. Just a thought, maybe not.
sometimes it does, depends on how the person hits it.
Yeah.
And
See, I'm not a good expert on baseball because I am afraid of a baseball. I think they go too fast and they hurt. But, so I am not an expert on the skills of baseball. All right, friends. Yes, Jeff.
A camel.
A what?
Camel.
A camel. Very nice. What does a camel do for work? They do several things. But what is one thing a camel would do, Jeff?
People would ride on them in the desert.
Yes, they will ride on them. What else do they do? Christian.
They carry people's stuff on
Yes.
humps. They have a tie. They wrap it around the body, and then they have like a skin thing, like a mini log, like this big, and their stuff is in there, and the camels carry it when the person's on it.
Yes. So they carry not only people, but they carry their belongings, food and blankets, water. Now the camels don't have to carry water. What do they have that helps them not have to carry water? Ella. Yeah, their humps store water. Now there's not like water in there. It's more of an absorption process where the water, they drink a bunch of water and the humps absorb the water. So there's not like a bunch of water in their humps sloshing around. That would be a little awkward for the camel. It's actually like a sponge, and then the water absorbs into their body when they need it. So it's a pretty amazing hydration system. Although I don't think I want a hump on my back, but they are impressive. And God created them that way. Why? Where do camels live? Do they live where it's arid, or do they live where there's plenty of water? Grayson.
They live where it's arid.
Yes. Deserts. So they need that ability to store water. So yes, not only are they working for others, but their bodies are also working for them. They are pretty amazing animals. Is there any other, Emmy? A dog. Now, how can a dog help you work? Like a guide dog. Yes, very good. A guide dog will help a person with special needs, like if they're blind or other needs, dogs will guide them. They will also warn them. Very good, Emmy. There are another job that we learned in our book. Aluki had dogs. What were those dogs doing? Grayson?
Pulling her sled.
Pulling her sled. Very good. Jeremiah?
I have a comment.
Yes.
The more leather camels store in their humps, the bigger their humps get.
Yes.
Also, can I start from this one?
Yes. So the humps are if the hump is really big and strong and kind of hard, I mean there's more water in it. So yeah, they're pretty amazing. When Sheen? Yes, we're talking about dogs, right? Yes, dogs have a very strong sense of smell. So they're used for search and rescue. If somebody's lost, there's dogs that are so highly trained that you give them a garment of that person or a piece of clothing or a toy or a blanket or something that scent of that person, and the dog can find them because their smell is so acute. Or a lot of times they're used, who's ever been to an airport and has seen a dog there? Why do you think the dogs are at the airport? Are they just there to give people, well, they do make people happy, but these are work dogs. What are they doing? Why are they there? There could be a twofold answer. M. What is one thing that they could be doing? Like drugs, or if somebody is trying to sneak something in from a different country. I mean, it could be as simple as a plant. When you go to one country and you go into another, you can't take plants with you because they could bring a bad parasite with them. So these dogs can even smell that. They're trained to smell certain things, but drugs is a big one. What else could they be doing at an airport, Tyson?
If there's a robber, they could be with the police people trying to find it.
Yes, a canine.
Also another thing, another animal that could help them, hawks, if you have a bunny problem. Sorry, Cole. We're sorry, Cole. Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness, yes. Apparently, I'm sure that could be the case, but I've never heard of that. Oh, that's fun. Okay, yeah, Cole, sorry about that. Sam. Wensheen. What's that? Finding lost things. Yes. Dog's sense of smell is amazing. That's why canines are so important for our police, because they can do things, they can smell things. Their sense of smell is very helpful in certain situations. And I personally would not mess with a canine. No. Any other, what about riding a bike? What are we using to ride a bike? Does that create force? Do we need force to ride a bike?
Yes.
What motion are we using? Are we pushing, or are we pulling, or are we doing both? Jonathan?
Pushing in.
Yep. Because when you paddle, you're going forward and then you go back. So it creates motion that way. What about the big wind? Who's ever seen the big wind turbines? That they have the big, giant. What is the purpose of those? Jack?
To make electricity?
Yes. Does anybody know how that works? What are those big turbines doing? Owen?
They're moving around to collect electricity.
Correct. The motion is storing, that electricity is stored, and they can use that electricity that those big wind turbines create. Who has seen those? Who has been kind of not up to them I mean like up close, but has seen them close up? They're huge.
The windmills?
Yeah. Has anyone ever seen them taken apart on a truck as they are transporting them? Yeah, it's amazing how big those are. They are huge. All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about next week is energy. Does anybody know what energy is? Why do we need energy? Tyson?
So we can move and do work.
Yes.
And other living things move and do work.
Yes. Does it have to be living in order to need energy?
No, like our bicycle, you'll need to push the pedals around. Get energy. The car needs energy.
What's that?
The car might need energy.
Bingo. How does a car get energy? Does it eat a hamburger and go to Culver's? Fill up with the Culver's.
No.
I would like a snack pack with a chocolate shake. Is that what a car does?
No.
What does a car have? What does a car need in order for it to run? Jack?
Gasoline.
Gasoline. Now, would we eat gasoline to have energy? Please don't do that. All right, so on your manuals, let's go to page 107, please. This is a review on what we just talked about. 107. Says fill in the blanks. Work is done when a force what something? Makes it go to sleep? What does it need? What does force make something do? We just talked about this. Wensheen, yes. Force is going to make something move. If a force is applied, that whatever the force is being applied to is going to move. Depending on how much force it is, it's going to depend on how much it moves. If it's going to move a little or a lot. Simple machines make what easier? Olivia, yes. So write what is doing the work in each picture. And you have a little box with animal, machine, people, water, or wind. And number 3, what is making that picture work, or that the farmer is using a what to make his hoe work? Grant.
Horse.
Yes, and a horse is a what? Yes. Whoa, what is number 4? Who can tell me what that's called, because I'm not sure. Some kind of a hoe.
What? I forgot.
What is that called? Jonathan?
Bulldozer?
No, it's not a bulldozer. A bulldozer has the big shovel in the front. This is like a scooper thing, thingy-mabob. Does anybody know what it's called? Gabe? Oh. Jeremiah?
Machine?
Yeah, it's a machine. I'm not sure. It's some kind of a hoe. Track hoe, maybe? I don't know. Number 5. They are riding on a horse.
What?
What is it then?
A machine.
Thank you. It's a machine. Yes.
Hmm?
It doesn't have to, you don't have to use all the examples, friends. And then what force is making the kite go in the air? Tessa? Wind. And then if you turn the page, we have, wow, a lot of lumber. What is helping the lumber move? What is the force that's making the lumber move? Owen? Yes.
Oh my.
And then what about the kids playing ball? What is making the ball move? Emma? Yes. People. Now you can draw a picture of someone or something doing work. You can use your artistic skills to finish this up. Draw something or someone doing work. Yes.
What's number 1 again?
Moves. Work is done when a force moves something. Yes.
Can I sharpen my pencil?